Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the third level of our metabolic training series. I am so excited. We've made it through both levels 1 and 2, and today we're starting off on level 3 of our metabolic workout series, and it is a little bit tougher, so you're going to notice some difference there. It's quite a bit more challenging. Some of the exercises are somewhat more dynamic. A lot of them are going to require a lot more core stability. And we're moving to the full version of certain things, planks and push-ups and lunges and other things. So it's going to be a bit more challenging. So be prepared, buckle up, and here we go. If just a couple of housekeeping items, make sure that you've downloaded the interval timer app if you're on Android, or the what's it called? The workout timer, I believe. Anyway, the workout timer app on Apple. It's in the description of the exercises, so find it there. But those are just simple interval timers that help you keep pace with what we're doing. Again, we're going 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 5 different exercises, and we'll go through each of the 5 exercises 3 different times. So it's designed to be a total body workout, just as the other levels are. And again, workout 1 of level 3 corresponds with workout 1 of level 2 and level 1, so that the first exercise corresponds with the same exercise in levels 2 and 1. And that way, if we're doing jump squats today instead of the wall squat or just the chair bench squat, and so if the jump squats are a bit too much for right now, go ahead and step down to that level 2 exercise. And so that's a perfect way to substitute and make sure that you can still participate, still do the workout, but maybe you don't have to do it full tilt and wind up getting sore or injured or having problems. And so if you can't do it with perfect form, then let's have you bump back down. Much safer that way. So again, we've got 5 exercises for this round. And those exercises today for level 3 are going to be a jump squat, so where you're just jumping in place and dropping down into a squat, a full push-up, what we call bird dogs, a walking lunge, and abdominal bracing with a bicycle, so moving the legs in and out with a bicycle. And so we're going to work on those different exercises. Again, they're designed to work the entire body. So we've got a total body exercise with the jump squat. We have got the arm exercises, the push-up. We've got a core exercise and kind of a back exercise with the bird dogs. We've got leg exercise with the lunges, and we have a core exercise with the bracing with the bicycle. So total body exercise. Again, if you're watching live with us, go ahead and give us a shout out. Say, hey, I'm live, and that way I can give you some love while you're on. Also, if you are watching the replay, let us know that you watched the replay, and if you completed the workout, well, I'd love to hear about it. Love to hear about your experience and any questions that you might have. So we had a great question the other day about stretching and whether or not we should be doing some stretching. And so I dropped some tips about stretching and some pictures of some stretches that you could do that were specific to that workout, so that you could see kind of how to work the muscles that may be tired or fatigued or tight after that workout, especially because we did some calf and some hamstring stuff that do typically cause people to tighten up a little bit. And so if you've got any questions like that, that's great. Drop those in the comments below. Happy to respond to them. All right, let's get rolling now. We got to get cranking out on this workout. So here we go. Got my interval timer set. Again, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. And I've got about 21 sets, which I think is a bit too much, because with this one, it should be really quick because we only have one exercise that uses both right side, or where we do right side and then left side. All the rest of them are more total body. So, all right, here we go. Jump squats. This one's really key that your form is good. Otherwise, I want you to modify. So the key to a squat, we talked about before, is keeping your feet shoulder width apart, keeping your back straight, and dropping the hips down low, bending through the hip, dropping your bum back, and keeping your knees behind your toes. We want to stay balanced and keep those knees behind the toes. We don't want to jump here, right, where our knees go out over the toes, puts a ton of pressure through your knees, your quads. We want to keep our weight back, keep the pressure in the glutes, which are those big, strong muscles designed for controlling our trunk and really creating some of that power for our jump. So we want to keep it in the glutes. Super important that we keep our weight back. So what the jump squat should look like from sideways on, we're coming down, we're jumping up, coming down into that squat, again, knees behind the toes, and then we're jumping back up and down. And just go as quickly as you can. You can use your arms to help. From front ways on, we want to really make sure that the knees aren't coming in, that they're not going out. It's more typical to see people's knees come in. So we want to make sure that as we do it, they're not coming together. They're staying apart, jumping up, coming down, and keeping balanced. Just do as many as you can within that 40 seconds, but keep it slow, steady, controlled. Make sure your form stays on point. And don't feel like you have to do so many. Just do as many as you can do. This is a great exercise for a little bit of cardio, get your heart beating a little bit more, but it also is great for kind of that more explosive power without being too crazy, but just working on that repetition of jumping for a lot of different sports or activities, building up some more of that power within the quads. All right, here we go. Let's get rolling. This one you might hear me get a little bit more out of breath. So here we go, we're jumping, land. So I'm bringing my chest down low to keep it in my glutes, but I'm keeping my head up and my back straight. I'm really focusing on keeping those knees apart and my bum down. So as I do it, my knees don't come in front of my toes. All right, there we go. That'll be pretty tiring by the end of round 3. All right, so we have our 20-second rest interval. Let's talk about our next exercise. So next exercise is the full push-up. Looks like we got a couple people on with us. Hey guys, thanks for joining. All right, so full push-up. That's next. Here we go. Push-ups are great. Again, we've talked about that in the other rounds. I love a push-up. Push-ups are great for stabilizing, strengthening everything through the upper body. Chest, gets our scapular stabilizers, all kinds of stuff. So it really is very helpful in strengthening just about everything. So I love push-ups. So here we go. Make sure that if you need to bump down to a lower level, so do as many as you can and then bump down to a lower level if you need to. That will help you be able to participate. Here we go. 12 seconds on the countdown. Get into that good position. Again, we don't want bump too high or too low. Keep it in line with your body. Hands shoulder width apart. We're just going up and down. You can challenge your triceps a little bit more by bringing the hands in. You can challenge the chest a little bit more by putting the hands out. Again, if you need to, you can drop down and do a few modified. That's totally fine. So notice I'm not trying to not just rock them out really fast. I'm going slow, controlled, and steady. So again, we're going to do 3 rounds of it. You don't have to kill yourself off all at once. Keep it slow, keep it steady, and stay in control. That's going to help you in the long run. Better form, and you use more actual strength rather than momentum. So that's a great thing. I'm not used to talking and exercising quite like this. It's funny how much more out of breath you get. All right, here we go. So the next one is bird dogs. Bird dogs are awesome. They are a great stabilizer. So when you do the bird dogs, what that looks like is a dog pointing, a bird dog literally, pointing at a bird in the bushes, right? So the idea is we're going here and here, alternating arm and leg. So it's that next progression from a swimmer that we're doing on our stomach with the alternating arm and leg lifts. But instead we're in that all fours position. It requires a lot more stability of the core. So with this, we want to really make sure that we're not overarching our back. So we don't want our back up too high. And we don't want to sag it down too low and stick our bum up either. We want to find a good neutral position. We want to tighten those abdominal muscles. So draw that belly button in towards the spine. Really tighten and contract. And we're going to hold there and lift alternating arm and leg. Often when I do this in the clinic, I actually put a foam roll or a stick across people's back so that they have to stabilize and hold, especially during that transition as you lift one arm and put it back down, then lift the other. I want to make sure that the hips stay level and that people aren't going like this and lifting that opposite hip up. I want you to stay as flat and level as possible. And so let's work on that as we do these. Here we go. So these are bird dogs, and we're just going to alternate arms for that 40 seconds. It's great exercise for the core, tightening those abdominal muscles, back extensors, and really engaging that whole chain. All right, here we go. 10-second countdown. Do I have enough room? So tightening, here we go. Make sure you keep breathing with this. As with all exercises, you got to breathe. Really focus on that core stability. As you kick those legs up too, really fire those glutes. Get a really good glute contraction. Keep those abs tight. All of that. Great stuff. All right. Our next exercise, similar to levels 2 and 1, we're going to do a lunge. So in level 1, we started feet already apart, and we did just a partial lunge where we sit down in place, bringing that chest low so that you engage the glutes more than just the quad. That was level 1. Level 2, we did a stepping lunge where we came down, lunged, and back up. Now this is a walking lunge. So the walking lunge, the idea is that you transition from one foot to the other. It's going to be a little bit tough in the space I have here. So I'll kind of go forward and backward a little bit. But the idea is really watching your balance and your stability through those transitions. That's where this gets off a lot. Making sure that your form stays really, really good. So if it's difficult for you, if you can't do that very well yet, if you find that you're falling over a lot, or if you find that your knee position is out of place, things like that, then step back down to the level 2 version. So again, what we're doing here is we're going to step, lunge, keeping square on the back leg, keeping square on the front leg, no knees in or out, especially on that trailing leg. So we're coming down, and then we're transitioning right back into the next leg. So we'll just go back and forth a little bit with that so that we can really engage both legs. We're just doing that walking lunge back and forth. All right, here we go. 20-second countdown. Mouth is drying out. Doing a lot more heavy breathing with this level 3 workout. Here we go. So we're stepping forward, lunge, up, and into that next lunge. We'll come back, lunge, back. Breathing. If you need to pause at the top through that transition, that's okay. Just to kind of make sure everything's good and lined up. So I don't have a lot of space here, and so I'm just kind of pivoting on this foot. I'm going to switch it up right about now. Oop. The timer threw me off. So that is the end of round. Oh no, it's not. We got one more. Still got to do the bracing with the bicycle. But so the lunges, again, we're just really trying to engage all the hip muscles, quads, hamstrings, and glutes. This one, it was tough in my space to show you kind of the making sure that you come forward through the hips just a little bit. That you, again, we don't want that knee going out over the toe, that you come forward through the hips just a little bit as you come down, rather than keeping your back up. And you're going to engage that glute on that side that you're stepping down with, or stepping forward with. So that's just a way to maximize that glute engagement, which is going to take a lot of the pressure off your knee. All right, here we go, the bicycle. Next exercise is a bicycle move. So moving your feet in and out like so, while bracing your abdominals, locking them in. So some people will flatten their back while they do an ab exercise. They'll try to push the small of their back down into the floor. That's not exactly what I want. I would prefer that you actually just try your best to maintain a neutral spine. So don't let the back arch up, which is really common. As people are doing this, their back tends to arch so you could fit your whole arm underneath there. So people will often flatten their back to prevent that. I would prefer that you maintain just kind of a loose natural curve back here, and then tighten those abs down to maintain that. And then we're just going to do this bicycle. So you really should be able to hold that contraction and still breathe and talk. So easier said than done, I know, but work on that. As much as you need to, you can flatten your back to maintain that neutral. So you might feel like you're flattening it, but try not to force it all the way down into the floor. That causes your pelvis to tilt backwards and actually engages the abs in a way that reinforces maybe not the most natural movement pattern. We want to stay in a neutral spine for all of our activities, rather than kind of that posterior pelvic tilt or rocking that pelvis backwards. So let's give that a try. Again, this is a bit more challenging because we really got to hold that stable the whole time. We've got a 15-second countdown. Here we go. 10. And we're laying down, getting in position, bracing those abdominals, locking it in, keeping the head neutral. Here we go. And we're lifting, and we're just pumping those feet back and forth. Again, bracing those abdominals, so I'll often feel and make sure that I'm not just getting those six-pack abs, but that I'm getting the abs out here on the sides and deeper, really keeping them engaged, keeping my back in neutral. So I'll often feel underneath my back too, to see, am I arching it too much as I do it? Which is you'll often get clicking in the hips or other areas if that's the case. And I'm also making sure that I'm not flattening my back too much, that I'm just keeping that good neutral position. But you'll feel that in the abs. It's tough. Tough to do. So make sure you really keep those abs engaged the whole time. I know that's easier said than done, especially to still breathe and talk as you do it, but you'll develop that over time. So keep working on it. If you can't do that, if that's too challenging right now, keep working on it. Try the best you can. If you need to bump down to those lower tiers of exercises, that's totally fine. All right, so that is all 5 exercises of level 3 workout 1. Awesome. So a little bit more dynamic, especially the first 2 make you huff and puff a little bit more, which is okay. So now we're just going to rock through the next 2 rounds, and we're just going to let that timer fly. and we'll keep up with it. Again, if you have any questions about these exercises, how to do them, or how to modify them to work for you, if you've got pain or problems in any way, let me know. Drop a comment down below and we can discuss ways to modify that. Also, if you're watching the replay, let us know. Say, hey, watch the replay, or I did the workout, and we'll go ahead and give you a shout out and give you the appropriate kudos for doing it. Thanks so much for participating. Here we go with round 2 and 3 of workout 1, level 3. Here we go. Get ready to be out of breath. Awesome. So we're starting off with that jump squat again. Here we go, jump squats. Make sure you focus on your breathing. Big deep breaths with every jump. Oftentimes it helps me to kind of make my breathing a little bit noisy, just so that I remember to keep breathing. You're doing great. Remember, keep those knees wide. Perfect. Good job. It's a little bit tougher. Here we go. 20 seconds rest. We're going right into that push-up. Just do the best you can with the push-ups. If you've got to modify, modify. Again, keep it slow and steady. And remember to breathe. Good. There we go. So a little bit tougher than the previous round. So that's okay. It's a good challenge. So here we go. Going into the bird dogs. Again, keep that neutral spine. Find it. Here we go. Alternating arm and leg. Again, remember not to over arch your back, not too much arch, and don't flatten your back too much. You want to keep those good neutral spine positions, and you want to be able to keep, so you need a good neutral spine position, and you want to be able to keep those abdominal muscles tightened so that you can maintain that neutral core. Again, you should still be able to breathe and talk while you do it. And I gotta breathe a little more, apparently. Here we go. Or maybe talk a little less. Here we go. Go into the walking lunge. So we're here. So you can take more than the 2 steps that I'm taking. I just don't have room. So really watch those transitions and really try and watch your balance and coordination with it. I'm going to switch legs. Good. Again, remember, as you're doing it, to come slightly forward at the hips to engage that glute a little bit more. All right. We're now doing the bracing with bicycle. Here we go. We're keeping that abdominal wall contracted, not flattening the back too much, and definitely not letting it arch. We're tightening, and we're just pumping those legs back and forth. The lower you do it to the ground, the more your back is going to want to arch, and the more difficult it's going to be. So you really have to engage those abs. Really tighten them, lock it in. If you notice, you're getting a raise in the middle of your stomach. So getting what we call diastasis. Really try to focus on drawing those abdominal muscles down, all the way from your back, wrapping around and drawing that down. Not just in the belly button then, but a little bit higher as well. Really draw that down, not necessarily suck in, but draw it down. And it's a nuance, a little bit different feeling to draw that in. But it's not uncommon with an abdominal exercise like that to get that diastasis, or kind of that separation of your six-pack abs, and it'll kind of bulge out through the middle there. So if you notice that happening, that's actually something that is somewhat treatable. We can do a lot to help kind of train you on how to avoid things that cause that, as well as help you to learn what you can do to strengthen and support that better. So that's actually a really good thing to go and get some help with, to come in and see a physical therapist to get some help with that diastasis, so you can learn how to prevent that and how to keep that from becoming a bigger problem for you. So if that is an issue, let us know. Happy to help. Give you some tips and advice on where to go or what to do to get some help to treat that. But that is a pretty important issue. Oftentimes, you know, having children can cause that. It can cause that separation of that abdominal wall. And so that's something you'd want to get taken care of in some way, shape, or form. Not necessarily surgery. Sometimes that is warranted. But a lot of the time with proper strengthening, you can do a lot to help with that. All right, here we go. Round 3. We're going right back into those jump squats. 12 seconds left on my countdown. Here we go. Jump squats, 40 seconds. Here it comes. Keeping those knees wide apart. Not any wider than your feet, but we just don't want them to come in like this. Not good. We want them to stay out. Keep that back straight. So from sideways on, we want to keep that back straight. But I'm bending through the hips to really engage those glutes a little bit more. I want to keep my bum back so I don't go out over the knees. Good. Should be feeling that in those quads. That's awesome. Here we go again into the push-up. Do your best to catch your breath. Here we go, right into the push-up. Again, just do your very best with this. Do as many as you can do. So, trying to keep that head in line with the body. Straight line from your shoulder to your ankle. And again, you do your best. Go slow and steady. If you need to drop down and do the modified version, that's totally fine. Remember to breathe. Good. Perfect. So again, keep that good form. Really critical with the push-up. You keep your body in good alignment. You're not lifting your bum up or sagging down. Keeping your head in line with your body. Here we go, bird dogs. Opposite arm and leg. If you have a hard time coordinating that at first, you're totally normal. A lot of people struggle with that right at first. Really try to point. Keeping those abs engaged. Really tightening the glute. All right. Woo! So, definitely level 3 is going to get you a little bit more gassed. It's designed to keep your heart pumping a little bit more. Here we go, lunges. That walking lunge. Good. Keeping that good form. Again, dropping those hips. Leaning forward, bending through the hip. Just slightly. It's going to really engage those glutes better. All right, here we go. 20-second rest, and we're going into our last exercise. Yay! So this has truly been a 15-minute exercise, a 15-minute workout. Each round takes 1 minute, or each exercise takes 1 minute, 3 rounds, 5 exercises. Here we go, tightening, doing that bicycle. Again, still breathing, still preserving my ability to talk, drawing those abs in and down towards the middle, towards my belly button. Locking that down. Making sure I'm not getting that diastasis, right? Locking it all in. And breathing. Good. Again, the lower you go with that one, the more you're really going to have to engage those abs. All right, there we go. That is all 5 exercises, 3 different times. So awesome. We did it. Level 3, workout 1 in the books. Nice work. A little bit more out of breath than some of the others. The lights are feeling extra hot. It's great. I love it. Worked up a little sweat before my work day. So there we go. Level 3, workout 1. Again, if you completed the workout, give us a shout out. Let us know. Awesome job. Way to stick with it. Hopefully you've modified as necessary to make it so that you could complete it with no pain, problems, or getting too fatigued. Again, take it at your pace. Fitness is a journey. It's not something you accomplish in one day. It's something that you establish a pattern of so that you can maintain all the things that you love to do. I'm going to keep beating that drum over and over and over. That your fitness should really be designed less around body image, less around I want to lose weight, and more about I want to preserve my ability to do all the other things I love to do in my life. All the activities, all the social events, whatever that is, your health and your fitness should not be the thing that gets in the way of you leading the life and lifestyle that you want. And so if it is, just start on a gentle journey. It doesn't have to be aggressive. You don't have to accomplish it in one day. Just start strengthening. Start doing some cardio. Start just moving more and keep consistent with that a little bit more every day. Just slowly build. And as you do, you'll develop those habits and you'll develop the strength and you'll develop the ability to breathe through it and keep going and not be miserable. And it will happen as long as you cut yourself some slack, that you don't have to do it all at once, that you can do it over time and still accomplish all of that. And as you do, you'll find that you can move more freely, that your joints don't hurt as much, and that you feel better, that you're not so out of breath, and that you can accomplish all of those things. And so keep it up. Keep up the good work. And as you do, you'll find that you reclaim a lot of your ability to do all of those things that you love to do. So thanks so much for joining us. We love it. Thanks for joining the Body Smart Metabolic Workout Series. We've got workouts 2 coming on Friday, and then workout 3 of level 3 on Monday. And so that will wrap up the 9 parts of this metabolic workout series. And then we've got some other fun stuff coming for you. So be prepared for that. We've got some other workouts that are designed around specific joints or specific pain problems. So after this wraps up, we'll start into more of our pain series. Exercises, workouts designed to help you avoid pain. So stay tuned for that coming up. Anyway, super excited again to bring this to you. Let me know if you've got any questions about modifications, about anything else you might need to do to make this workout work for you, and so you get the most bang for your buck. Thanks so much again for joining us. We'll see you next time. Friday morning, bro.